What's up, my dude? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. We've just been shooting the shit for a bit.
Yeah, like it's just one of the best times to record. So you know what? I want to talk to you about something.
Hmm.
I've gotten a bit self-conscious about you know, fitness, right? I recently took on a job. Like I've been, getting up really fucking early and 5 a.m.
Damn.
Getting home late.
Oh,
So
you on that
I
Baki
used
routine, bro. I'm trying to get that
to,
Baki physique.
that same one. So like I used to be pretty into the gym, right?
Hmm.
And I got out of that because I got work stuff, graduated, all that kind of stuff. So
Hmm.
I was thinking, like, what can I do to make my physique better?
Yeah,
Everyone talks about like boosting testosterone, getting
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
swole, all this kind of shit.
It's about
So I was saying,
time to
what
looks
can
max.
how it looks like? So what can I do? So I get on Instagram, okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look for tips, to be better, right? Trying to optimize
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. Learn from
And
people who've gone through the process for longer.
yeah, pretty much. And all I see is fucking shit like this.
Hold up.
Like I see some just naked motherfuckers, and I see like
Skate
these
photo
fucking
shoots.
captions, gay photo shoots, and you read the caption. You can't read it right now, but it's
Uh-huh.
sunning your balls is the highest ROI activity for your body. Using Sol screen is the highest ROI activity for natural sun protection. So what you're saying is,
ROI, return on investment.
so my return on
What are
investment,
you investing?
you're investing your balls. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's something here about
Mhm.
like ball and like sunning your taint, right? And I've been
Yeah.
trying to get into this, like I understand where it came from, and I kind of got into like this whole rabbit hole of like dudes that okay. Before that, if I tell you like the
Yeah.
primal lifestyle, does that mean anything to you?
Primal life. Oh, if I were to go and guess what it is, it's probably just like Return to Monkey, type stuff, where you just try to go like a baseline level of just like creature, I don't know if creature comfort is the right word, but you try to go for like, instead of lifting dumbbells that are at the gym, you're like lifting rocks or like boulders, in the mountains or something.
Like you watched the fucking Crudes and felt that was like the most
Yeah.
motivational movie you could have
Yeah,
possibly watched.
yeah. You washing your ass in a stream, that kind of stuff.
So pretty much, it's like I stumbled upon like this fucking like all over like online, but especially on TikTok, this whole
Mhm.
community of people that just are really into that caveman lifestyle. So I want to show you a few examples of this, and
Yeah.
I really want to try and answer the question of
Uh-huh.
exactly. So what fucking happened in the past like
Uh-huh.
5 to 6 years where Return to
Yeah.
Monkey actually like went
Yeah.
past the meme and people are really taking it seriously?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I that's that. There could be a lot of reasons for this, but I don't know. It's like you always see. I guess like this kind of borders between social media influencer like workout stuff and like quack science, or like quack doctor stuff, and people that like kind of sell these kind of weird miracle cures have been around for a long time. You like the dudes in the Wild West with the covered wagon. So like, oh, if you buy this ointment, it can cure glaucoma, cancer.
Oh, you gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, all kinds, and they'd make up all kinds of tales, right, to sell their snake oil, or like whatever.
You know, like
But I don't know. It's weird to see that again.
yeah. So like
It's digital age.
for this guy, like I'm not gonna blame him too much. But
Mhm.
I think that one of the people that has like a lot to do with how this became so mainstream is
Yeah,
this fucker. Is the motherfucking Liver King, bro.
Liver
Like,
King. Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure if he started the trend, but I think he had like an instrumental,
Yes.
he was really instrumental in making it mainstream to the point where people are actually being like, yo, what about my carnivore diet, bro?
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't. Didn't he have like a health scare or something recently?
I don't know, but like for him, it's like Liver King kind of started like the whole cascade, like a domino effect, this whole like movement. But for him, it was very much fitness oriented, as in if you just eat raw meat, you'll get fucking swole like I am. Obviously, not
Right.
mentioning the copious amounts of steroids he was taking, but that's that
Yeah, yeah.
for another day.
And his freaking butthole being sliced by those rock hard poops that he has to force. There's no way that
Yeah,
Toilet is gonna look pretty after he's done. It looks probably like a war zone, you know.
there's no way there's any relation to any of that.
Damn,
It's obviously the raw meat. But then you see
yeah.
like other influencers and even like other people that you would not expect to go into these kinds of things to actually do it.
Mhm.
Like I don't know if
Yeah.
you knew like even fucking Jordan Peterson, that psychology guy,
Yes.
also got into the
Yeah,
carnivore
yeah.
diet, and I was like, what the
Mhm.
fuck?
I've seen the interview with him where they're like kind of checking in on that, and he's just like so out of it. He looks like so weak, and he's like, they're like, Jordan, how do you feel about following up on your all meat diet? You know, how are you feeling right now? And he's just like, I feel very tired. Oh, it's kind of very hard to stay awake. I'm like, this guy is literally like wasting away in front of me. Are you not selling me on this meat, on this meat
Like-
only shit?
With like the depressed Kermit voice.
Yeah. Well, that's what he sounds like. He's like a
Oh yeah.
depressed Kermit. Uh-huh.
I mean, that is what he sounded like. And like, and then from there, I think there was like, I don't know what the actual point in time was, but that became sort of mainstream. But that's just like, speaking of specifically on like only meat stuff. But I think that's not where this ends. I think that's where this begins. Because then you get into a couple characters that we're going to talk about, some of them today, that went a step further, more than just meat, and enveloped this whole like, ooga booga primal lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's one that I think we really got to talk about. I want to talk about this guy for a hot minute, but okay. Do you know? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the proper term is. Actually, I'm gonna look for it before I say some dumb shit. Do you know what perineum sunning is?
Perineum. Oh, I know perineum is the scientific word for taint, and then I'm guessing sunning is like you open the flower to receive the bounty of our mother star, I guess.
I'm going to read this dramatically now, which is the phrase. This is an overview by Google, so I'm sure it's trustworthy. The phrase ball sunning or testicle tanning in the context of Taoism refers to the modern wellness trend of perineum sunning, a practice claimed by some influencers to have roots in ancient Taoist traditions. The claimed Taoist connection is adherents often cite an ancient Taoist belief that the perineum, or hui yin, is a vital gateway where energy, or chi or prana, enters and exits the body, which can be strengthened by the sun. Now, like, I don't know what actually enters your butthole. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the real question, it doesn't matter what enters or exits. The real question is it gay, right?
The question is,
that's the big question.
Is exposing your booty hole to the sun actually kind of gay? Like, these are the questions.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't know. It's so funny how, like, people have these wild, like, practices and they use, like, mysticism, to be the justification for this. Because I understand, like, I have working knowledge, just, I guess, through osmosis of being Asian, of, like, basic Taoist, like, or, Taoist tenets, right? And then, like, the idea of chi is like the word in Chinese, or like the Chinese character, directly translates to air or breath. But it's the concept of like of living energy, and I guess Taoist metaphysics, it's like the kind of energy, or the primal energy that permeates kind of everything, So it's like, if you had to tie it to like a scientific kind of concept, it's like the initial motion, right? Or like, the energy, the Big Bang, energy that continues to proliferate. And it's like they have entire like esoteric practices on how to tap into it, and, all that kind of stuff that people, I'm sure some ancient Chinese man hundreds of years ago had some kind of connection where he just like, it feels freaking great to moon the sun, during the day. What if the sun and the moon came out at once, bitch? He thought that, and he's like, and he's on a mountaintop cultivating his chi or whatever. But it's weird, like how that kind of made its way, into our line of sight hundreds of years later.
I'm gonna put up I'm gonna put up an image on screen.
Yeah.
This is for Grant. I just think like whenever we're talking about Viridian sunning, please put up this image of this lion sunning his balls.
His face,
I would
it shows just infinite peace
I would very much appreciate
and
if you
tranquility.
show this image. So one of the biggest proponents of what I saw here, and like this guy, I'll mention that we're going to talk about for a while now, is this guy,
Yeah.
Carnivore Aurelius. So you can already tell kind of what his account is about just by
Yes.
then the name alone. But this like pseudo philosophic kind of dude who's really into like the carnivore diet. Now I believe he also does eat actual steak, so at least it's not raw. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Normal
here
food.
is it. Yeah, a couple things that are pretty funny is that he basically tries to do a lot of messaging through memes and other things that because I remember like I started like following this guy on Instagram because I just thought it was a fucking joke, but then like it became like one post and like 3 posts and then like 100 posts and then then
It's
by like
ending
post
with
number by like post number like 345 I noticed maybe it's not a joke.
Yeah. Maybe this guy is actually onto some shit.
So and this is like the weird thing, which I kind of want to comment on with you, which is that like how this is really tied to how scientific discussion has like just completely gone down the drain recently.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you can say like actual things that are correct. Like you can say, for example, this post, what the fuck happened since 2000 that caused average testosterone to fall almost 30%. You get right. Okay, yeah, that is an actual studied phenomenon. Like why are testosterone levels going down in big human males? Interesting to think about, okay? But when you go a step further and you're saying like, hold on, maybe, just maybe, we can avoid that by sunning our balls.
It's you see a graph with like an inverse correlation. It's like testosterone's going, or not inverse correlate, like a direct correlation where it's like testosterone's going down, but then instances of asshole sunning is also going down. This can't be a coincidence, you know? Yeah.
Graph going down, graph going down. So he has a lot of posts like this, and like I don't want to put any word in his mouth. This is like I think he does it for himself, right? Hormonal problems, allergies, eczema, whatever. So essentially, it's this sort of general belief because he has like a lot of like things against like fucking seed oils and against a bunch of different products, right?
Yeah.
But it's this general idea of the new age, the new world, right, has brought about like a couple things that have made life easier, but actually we're being fucking poisoned by them.
Yeah.
Urgent poisonous.
Right.
Poisonous.
Yeah. It's just Cheetos, that shit. It'll give you in 40 of your generation, you know, your future unborn generation's ball cancer, you know, like that type of shit.
Pretty much. And a lot of his posts are kind of like that. In fact, there's one that I thought was kind of interesting, which is this one. Yeah, pretty recent. Sorry, never mind. It's from 2022. Never mind the recent bit. But he says, okay, before the 1970s, everyone was hot and healthy. Debatable. Okay. People ate more smoke.
So ugliness is like
yes.
1980 came around and then ugliness became a thing.
Everyone just became fucking butt ugly.
Fuck yeah. Damn. But you're like this.
But here's the interesting thing, which is he mentions this is actually true. Obesity is up almost 5 times since the 1970s. It's totally true. Now, here's the thing, right? And this is just like us doing a little thought experiment. Why do you think people have gotten fucking fat? As a, as a real American, the American.
As an American.
Why do you think people are fucking fat?
I mean, I have to preface this by saying, even though I was born and raised in America, I am like blessed to have not been part of the or not been affected as much. You know, maybe it was genetics. Maybe I have genetics to blame, or not blame, but to thank. Because I'm a pretty skinny boy. And I really never had to deal with that. But in America, it's like, even though you don't have to directly deal with it, you see it, right? We are a big people, big back nation.
A lot of big boys.
A lot of big boys, man. And I think it's a combination of just like convenience food, and also like the culture behind like eating here. Because like around the world, I guess like families tend to have home cooked meals way more often. than America does. And I think that's really big when it comes to like staying healthy. It's just like what you grow up eating, you know, for a long period of time. And I'm just glad that, you know, I'm Korean. My family's Korean. So I just had superfood fed to me since I was a baby. Like an ex of mine, she told me a story about like girls in college that like willingly took tapeworms, like ate tapeworm eggs
Damn.
to lose weight. And then like the shock of finding a tapeworm in the toilet, like after somebody has used it.
Shit.
And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? I'm like, what school do you go to? God damn. Parasite University. God damn. Like it's wild, dude. The lengths people will go to like and it's like it's sometimes they justify it in terms of like I need to be healthier or I need to be like, you know, like I'm trying to like go after some kind of physique, but it's just I didn't know that you would have a live-in roommate in your colon, you know, handling all that stuff for you. It's like that is
like that is bad, dude. That's
yeah, but at the same time, it's like should we call this parasitism or should we call this symbiosis, right? So like,
in this context, it's probably more of symbiosis.
It could be symbiosis, you know.
You know what? So you made me think of like okay, like a short story. Hopefully nobody that watches this.
She the Venom. It's a symbiote, you know.
Like I recently changed office at my workplace, and one of the older guys at the office told me a quick story. He was like, "Be very careful around this one bathroom." I'm like, "What?" Because it had like supposedly some ventilation issues, and I was like, "Okay, that's kind of weird." Like, dude, does people like shit real stick real bad? And he told me that he explicitly told me like, "No, what happens is we've had." Specifically women work here at the office and in an attempt to lose weight take a combination of both laxatives and diuretics. So
oh my god.
And they talk about it's like fucking like water cooler talk. So so it hasn't happened thankfully since I got in that office, but I was told that there have been instances where they had to like fucking evacuate because somebody's shit was so bad. From attempts to lose weight. They're like, no, we can't. This is a fucking health hazard there.
Yeah. It's like you see the dudes with the hazmat suits from Monsters Inc. come in, go, and they're just like spraying everything, you know. And
it was so bad.
Yeah, they drag Mike Wazowski. Mike Wazowski's in there for some reason. Guys. It was like,
But let me tell you, I think your tapeworm story is subjectively worse.
It's so bad, man. And it's more than disgust. It makes me feel sad, you know? And it makes me really feel like, damn, this person really was suffering mentally to go to this extent, you know? And I think that's like the double-edged sword part of like the weight issue. Because it's so like psychological as well. Because a lot of people like deal with stress by eating, you know?
Right.
It's like there's a lot of people that I care about that like that kind of cope with stress that way. But
and there's a direct correlation between that and anxiety, for example, and a lot more people are anxious than they used to be.
Exactly. And it's all like it's tough when you see it, when you're like, damn, like this habit was not like created just overnight. It was something that they like did since they were a kid, you know. So it's tough, you know, and I could see the appeal if something like Ozempic came out and immediately they're like, we can solve this for you, you know, like I would understand why people would jump at that.
Right. But you know what? Like,
yeah,
I think we can kind of tie that back to like this whole like primal thing, which is that my working theory right now is like, and it's not just for like the eating portion. Like, I think this like goes and I guess feeds into a larger lifestyle. Right. So you can talk about like ball sunning. You can talk about, you know, fucking like the raw meat diet.
Yeah.
But even talk about like when you go to like the weird like health conscious but also like a mildly like borderline religious part of Instagram, for example.
Yes.
Like I sent this to you like earlier in the week. Like this one girl that makes like breast milk ice cream and then talking about like, well, I've like seen that health benefits.
Yeah. I've seen people make breast milk ice cream before, and I think everybody says like it tastes kind of the same as like normal soft serve. But something about this video in particular and how like she has like uh like hostage, like prisoner hostage eyes almost. It's weird. Like the way that she looks at the camera is very off. Yeah. It makes my skin crawl. In the lighting too, it's very like yeah, it's very like back rooms type lighting.
Right.
For lack of a better word.
And the same girl, like going back to like the meat thing, like there's this one
Yeah.
clip that I thought it was like fucking horrifying. She has like her newborn eat a fucking like tomahawk, and like I don't want to be like that kind of guy that like zooms his way into like certain clips, but
Yeah.
that looks raw as fuck. Like that looks really like really
yeah.
raw meat.
Yeah. But I guess with beef, it's a little different, right? Because a lot of the pathogens on beef, the pathogens on beef, I heard at least, they tend to stay on the surface. So that's why you can have like a rare steak and not like get sick.
I mean, look, that is technically true, but there's like a kind of a difference here. Because one thing is the only reason you can eat meat raw is, as you said, like over, I think like I remember, I worked at a chicken place. I remember the stat from from late.
Yeah.
That it was like over 90% of all of the possible germs you will find are on the surface, and they pretty much, like the vast majority of them will just instant KO after a certain amount of heat, right? Which is why like, if you maintain a certain amount of heat for at least 1 second, it'll be fucking fine. But that is a bit different when we're talking like, you know, like a steak versus we're talking like a big old tomahawk, like this fucking thick, right? Like there, I think there's a bit more
dense, dense like meat kind of.
I mean, yes, most of it is on the surface, but again, like, should you really be feeding your newborn raw meat? Like, these are the questions I ask.
Yeah, and on top of that, like a baby's immune system is, you know, it's being spawn camped right now. You know, it's like like starting to. You know, you're like it just found its first common gun in Fortnite, but now he just dropped them in the middle of like, you know, the ranked game. You know,
like if you go and like compare all of these, and like if you try and get all these like kind of weird lifestyle choices and put it all into like this larger, like I guess primal talk, if you want to talk about it like that, I'd say that it all kinds of, to me at least, it all kinds of like goes around the same exact idea, which is that why do people want to go for Ozempic, for example?
Mm-hmm.
If you could think about it like logically, like, what would make someone think they should go for Ozempic?
I would definitely say psychological reasons such as like self-consciousness and anxiety, and then maybe like also for eating disorders. And on top of that, I guess health reasons. You know, someone's like cardiovascular health is bad, so the doctor's like, you got to freaking lose weight or else, you know, your heart's gonna explode. Probably those reasons are like the most. I would guess those are the most common reasons.
But see, I think you're completely right. And the thing is, you can make that exact same case for sunning your ball sack. Because really, like the way things,
you could flip them.
Like this is not like testicle sunning, but I saw this in the morning and I just kind of thought I should send it to you. Like people that are also like staring out into the sun, like dude,
the
biggest ROI return on investment, and like they try to be scientific about it too. Like your mitochondria absorb infrared light, fueling your body like a solar battery. I mean, like kinda. Dopamine and serotonin spike, create an instant mood boost. Okay, your pineal gland activates, balancing hormones and quickly deep sleep. Circadian rhythm resets. Your vision sharpens as your eyes absorb the natural light.
So he's just describing being a Super Saiyan.
Pretty much, and this is not like a me thing. It's gotten to the point that this is like well documented now in actual scientific literature. Like there are people that are actually taking the time, and you know, salute to them. They're trying to find like actual scientific explanations to be like, bro, what if you just don't? What if you just
So when I looked at that picture of that guy that you just showed me, it just imagine like the expression on his face and his entire demeanor reminds me of if you catch him like tanning his balls like in the sun. The feeling I get is like if you plug in your phone charger into his ass, like I would expect my phone to light up and start charging. Just
you know, like,
yeah. It's like, oh, like that dude somehow. Plug it in.
My dude's fucking like metamorphosized into like that one experiment where you like put your charger in like McDonald's Sprite or in a fucking
Yeah. He becomes like a human battery, and then like I'm guessing eating all that. If he was part of like the carnivore diet too, he probably has a hella tapeworms already, you know, in his system. So it's all like you plug the charger in, and all of a sudden tapeworm come out of his ass. He was like, "Hey man, I pay rent, man." You know, I was like, "Get this shit out of here," you know.
like no. Like this is a symbiosis, like this is a symbiotic situation. You're actually gonna see like the tapeworm go and grab the charger, like pull it.
Pull it in, yeah. Thanks for the phone, jackass. Yeah. That's hilarious. And it's just like every now and then, like to give him moral support, like when he's going like, I really want to salad today, you know? The tapeworm just pop out of his ass. He's like, hey man, don't be bitch made, man. You gotta continue, you gotta push forward. Are you a real man or what? He just goes back in. Will tanning my balls and my butthole give me everlasting life? Is this the philosopher's stone, you know? I don't know.
And
Figure it
that's
out
the thing,
yourself, man. Yeah.
Like going back to like the perineum sunning bit, which I just like, dude, like you just search it up real fast. These supposed benefits are increased energy and in creativity. Like, bro, you want you got your next like film production you got to do, and you're just not feeling it as a director, bro. You got some perineum sunning to do.
It's like physical, spiritual, almost. Yeah, the power.
You got like the fucking power, like the chi entering your butthole.
Yeah. Because it Kirby's up all the air.
It's like that fucking. Have you seen that one meme of like of the third Madagascar movie? Like there's like the French. Like, have you watched that movie? First of all,
long time ago. Yeah.
You know, I want to have to search that. Hold on,
is that the one with Moto?
You. Is it? I think it is. I honestly, I'm now remembering that I don't know how many. Might be the second one. It's the one with the French girl, with the French lady that like chases them crows.
Yeah, that's the European tour one. I think. Oh yes, and then like the lion. What was his name? Alex. Like he ends up being part of the circus, if I remember correctly.
I think that's the third one.
The third. Yeah. It's like he ends up with the gypsies. Yes. Unhand me, gypsy.
Well, it's like I was imagining this fucking this I'm gonna show it to you. This fucking meme, like that same thing, like you're like the inhaling of the most intense smells, but it's like from the other end, like you can just like see the chi just physically go inside his asshole.
Yeah. It's like it sucks up everything around. It's just it becomes a black hole essentially. Like the sphincter becomes the event horizon. Anything that crosses that ain't gonna be seen forever.
And now, but just infinite mass.
Yeah. This is what this collection or this condition I would like to dub the dying star. You have dying star syndrome. Yeah. It's like somehow maybe we could find a way to go to other planets with this. Get a guy with a collapsing asshole, you know, that has like enough gravitational force to bend space-time.
Have you watched? Okay, first of all, have you watched Interstellar?
Yes.
Okay,
saw it when it came out in theaters back in the day.
Quick spoiler warning for anyone that hasn't watched Interstellar. You know, like near the end of the movie where you find out they have like this fucking like space station, the pocket dimension, which is where they catch him after he like passes out. Yeah. Like imagine that entire scene exactly as is, but it's all self-contained in someone's asshole.
Yeah. The end of the movie is like him. Yeah. End of the movie is him being born again, you know. It's like the guy, the cosmic guy with IBS that you know, all this entire story is happening inside, you know. He just like takes that swig of freaking Pepto or Metamucil.
Like the movie ends
by like gets ejected back into reality.
The movie ends by like the IBS guy like eating fucking spicy tacos and him just not being able to handle it, and that's how he shoots back out into outer space.
He goes to Taco Bell, bro. Oh, dude, that reminds me of the Rick and Morty episode where they like shrink themselves into like that homeless guy that has all the diseases, right?
I think that's like the first season.
Yes. They shrink themselves and go inside Ruben, bro. It's Ruben.
Ruben on the table, Morty.
I guess we have a new movie idea for freaking Christopher Nolan, bro.
there's like, imagine an entire space opera, like a space opera, and the whole thing is just real fucking epic. Like the whole entire
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's majestic, but just like the plot just at the end it was all contained inside someone's asshole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Death Star is like, you know, a shit that's been lingering for a week inside the dude's bowels. Bum 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 bum. Chewie.
Bro, it reminds me of this is really fucking gross. Like there's this. I'm not sure if I can pull it up on the screen. Like, I don't even know how to start searching for this.
Yeah.
There was a Papa Meat video from a little while back. I think like a few months ago. I fucking love Papa Meat. But anyway, he's the goat. He's the goat. But he made a video on like, old timey circus freaks.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like this one guy who basically is like, he was like this like skinny like Indian man, but he had like a stomach that was like twice his size.
Damn.
Wow. And it turns out like I think he had a condition where he was like constipated for the last like 10 years.
No.
It was a real health condition. I feel so bad because that was like all the time like. And actually, I think they have. Oh, I remember. They have like his sphincter in a museum. Like you can actually go and look at it.
Oh my god, that the level of disrespect that you have to have on a guy to permanently show off his booty hole in a museum, after you die. That's where do you figure that out in your will, in your estate? Where do you figure that out? Smithsonian shall get my booty hole.
Like I remind you of this because like I imagine the whole movie taking part like the whole thing happens inside of his stomach. It's like a whole it's like a time travel plot. Like you go back in time to make sure he doesn't die from his condition. So like go inside and try to eliminate all the shit he has the last 10 years.
It's like a platformer game, we're jumping like Super Mario.
God, I wish I remember his name. So they were in his. I'm going to look for it. Grant, I trust you to put this in this section. This is very important.
Yes, unnamed Indian man from, I'm guessing, the 1800s, And back then, they were like, probably just like, come and see the man with the inflatable stomach,
That was literally it.
God or a gift, a gift to mankind. I'm like, what could possibly be a gift from this man's suffering,
I'm just like remembering here, but I think like one of the things in the video was that people could pay to like slap his belly.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's funny. That's kind of, imagine how he felt. He's like holding it into shit, each time he gets pat. And he's just like, I'm fighting a battle right now that you guys don't understand, that you guys, a silent battle that you don't see.
All those memes about like, people don't know the kind of demons you're fighting. Like, I don't think anyone can understand the kind of demons he was fighting.
The two wolves that are inside him, I think, and about the, recently the guy who got under fire for showing like the Indian poop throwing festival, like in that one little village?
Actually, no idea. Wait, what?
Dude, look it up. There's a, speaking of bowel and bowel contents, in a small village in India, there's a traditional cow poop throwing festival where it's everybody in the entire village gathers up cow poop and just have snowball fights with it.
Wait, what? How did
giant stomach vor Indian man, right, from the 1800s, right? Circus freak dude with the giant stomach. I was guessing in my mind, I was like, dude, that guy, if he was in the poop throwing festival, infinite ammo, bro. Infinite ammo. Yeah, he ain't running out of shells, bro. He ain't running out. Whereas other busters are gonna be scrounging on the ground for their
for their ammunition.
It's their ammunition. This dude's ready, bro.
Like I'm looking here, like I had no idea about this. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. No, the guy who made the documentary, had to like take it down because like Indians were like flooding his DMs, like doxing him, like death threats, like everything, man. Like it's kind of wild. And you got to read the post that he made. It's addressing all of it.
So let me see if I can find it. So I'm going to try and pronounce this correctly. Godeaba. Gorkhaba, I'm not sure. The Cow Dung Festival in Tamil Nadu's Gumatapura marks Diwali's end with a unique ritual. Villagers joyfully throw cow dung, honoring the deity. I am so sorry for all these pronunciations. Bidishwara Swami, believed to bring blessings and good health. This vibrant tradition, rooted in the Kuruba community's faith, unites people across state borders, offering a rare glimpse into rural Indian culture and photographer's delight. Docs threatened YouTuber Tyler Oliveira canceled documentary release on India's Cow Dung Festival over outrage. Over 5 million views. Everyone's covered in shit. Love to see it. As Nedison said, he had showed a ritual held to mark the end of Diwali in a negative light. So here's kind of the thing, right? So there's always this like really big conversation when these things happen, which is like, okay, fine. Because you can say like, okay, at the time he responded to the outrage and defended himself, saying that it isn't racist to film a poop throwing festival, which I consider to be correct. Right. And then he said, after much consideration, I've decided I will not be releasing my documentary capturing India's poop throwing festival. I have been doxxed and threatened by thousands of Indians over the last 2 weeks. And I think he ended it off with the one quote that you sent me, which is that you cannot defeat 1.5 billion Indians.
You simply cannot. You simply cannot defeat. That is, I felt that to my core. I'm like, you know what? You are, yeah, it is you against probably a good, close to a quarter of the world's population, you know, which is just like, I mean, damn, you know.
Like, that's a lot. But the thing here, too, is, like, it's weird because you can say that, okay, fine, it's their culture. It's things that have to do with their culture. You'll never understand it if you're not there. And it's something that's very private and special. Like, it is actually ritualistic to them. That's fine. I can respect. I can put some, you know, I can understand that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But then if you try and take like an objective stance, like for example, how many people a year do you think get sick from the poop throwing festival?
Just I think this Tyler guy, if I remember correctly, I think he did get sick from this. But he was like an outsider. Yeah, I'm guessing like most of these people that do it regularly have like God level immune systems, right? From doing this every single year since they were a kid.
Maybe, but like,
I'm sure they got sick at some point in order to get that immunity, you know?
Because like at one point we talked about you maybe like coming to visit me over in Chile. And there are kinds of foods here that I already thought about it. Like if you do come to visit, there are places I just cannot take you. I don't know how to. I can't think of a better way to say this.
Yeah,
you are too Asian, dude. You're way too Asian. You're gonna die. I'm gonna give you a slice of like white habanero cheese. It'll have like microbes you've never encountered in your life.
Yeah,
you would automatically pass away.
Well, I wouldn't discount that because actually, for the past year, the refrigerator in my apartment has been pretty faulty. So, like the refrigeration temperature is actually like not that cold. But like, what do you do as a poor, you know, guy trying to replace a refrigerator, right? It's like, I can't move this shit myself. I don't have the money to buy a new one. So I just been kind of like just winging it, you know, with the faulty defective refrigerator. And I'm sure the level of like microbes that I'm eating currently, and like it kind of scared me a bit because I was getting like indigestion, like or like after every meal and stuff, but not to the point where I'm like throwing up or like, you know, like immobile from it.
But you felt it.
I feel it, but the thing is, over time, those symptoms have gone less and less. So it's like, it's almost like dudes that back in the day, like those biologists who would like inject themselves with diluted snake venom to like gain antibodies and stuff. Like that's the thing. There was a guy who actually like injected him with himself like over the span of years with diluted snake venom and different species too.
I didn't know this.
Over time, he became like, this guy's like now like, maybe he died because he's old or something, but he ended up becoming immune to like rattlesnakes and like cobras. Like he would get bit by cobras and like rattlesnakes and stuff, but his body like created a defense system over time. And this was years. So I'm like, that's what I feel like with my food that I'm cooking, and in my
with like the
bacterial
breeding ground of old jam inside of your fridge.
Yeah. There's a funky smell coming off of it, and there's like a little bit of weird mold growth. But I'm like, hey, I don't have $5 to replace this pack, so we're gonna risk it all, you know. But I think over time, like that's the thing where I feel like I'm training, you know, to go, especially if I'm going to other countries. It's all like this is my form of training. And the final test is if I can stomach the street food with the guy that does not wash his hands, you know. He's like smoking cigarettes over, you know, the stove. It's like that is the final boss of that country,
Look,
you know.
We've gotten way off track, but I think I need to tell you this story. Like, okay,
Yeah.
just so you understand what we're dealing with. Now, to be objectively here, okay?
Yes.
The food that you will eat in South America, if you go to any reputable establishment, right?
Yeah.
Reputable, sorry. It won't be fucking gross, okay? So it's like that people that say, like, be careful when you go to Mexico. You know, don't do this, don't do that. Like, sure, there are things you probably should take into consideration. Like, I would not drink the tap water, just as an example. But
That's the same in China too. When I visited mainland China, they tell you don't drink out of the sink. Like,
I mean, like,
no bottled water.
You can, I just don't recommend it.
Yeah. But it's
Anyway.
crazy actually. Just side note, do you know what that's called? That phenomenon is called in India when people travel to India.
What?
The food poisoning, they call it belly belly, bro.
The belly belly.
Belly belly. You got a case of belly belly.
But it's like, so I was telling you, so, but there's something about like Latino street food, and in Venezuela when I used to live over there, there's this kind of hot dog called an asquerosito. To give you a direct translation, it's like it's really called like a grossy.
The nasty patty. It's the nasty patty from SpongeBob, bro.
You could call it the nasty dog.
Yeah. The nasty dog. That's what they call my penis. That's what they call my pit. The nasty dog.
The nasty dog.
He creeping and he crawling.
So why do we call it the nasty dog? Because
listen,
I'm going to give you the ingredient list, and you got to tell me if it sounds appetizing or not. Okay.
Okay. So I want this on my plate.
So we get this big old bun. Okay. It could be any bread you want. It could be brioche, whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. We get some
starting
bread.
off pretty good.
Okay. Get some bread. Now we get some sausages. Okay. Sausages and
glizzies.
They're not really some glizzies. Yeah. They're not really fresh. They've been sort of like floating in the hot water for like the last 3 hours, but they're still fine.
Hell.
Okay, still fine.
Okay. I've had those on some camping trips. You know, that's not too crazy.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
And then you go and you put on some diced onions, and these things are stir fried and put on top.
Okay.
You can also put on You can also put on some avocados. You can put on some chopped purple onions, and in some cases you can even put like ground tomato. You can put even like ground meat on the fucking thing.
All I'm hearing is good, bro. This is all good to me.
I mean, you can even have like some slices of some white or yellow cheese. Get stuff in there, like anything. It's fucking intense.
Yeah.
Now, they're delicious. First of all, so why did I mention they were called nasty dogs? Because my mom and my dad, like they're kind of different, right? My dad has always been like this, like fuck it kind of person. Like he will eat off the floor. My mom is completely opposite, right? So whenever I was out with a kid, my mom always told me, Oscarcito, please, whatever you do, do not eat the nasty dogs. I'm like, why? Just don't do it. So one time, I'm with my dad, and we were in like downtown Caracas, and we get off the metro, right? Okay, the subway station, and we've been out there for like fucking 6-7 hours. We had breakfast like at 7 in the morning. It's like 6 p.m. or something. Like it's really late. We're fucking hungry.
Chow time.
Like it's fucking chow time. I was hungry as shit. Like it's been like at least 12 hours. So I tell my dad, I'm fucking hungry. What do we do? And he's like, look, there's nothing close by. But then he like looks around for a sec, and he spots these like little like hot dog carts, like what, like a block away from where we are.
Peddler.
We're like
peddling.
Yeah. And he's like, hijo, my dude, do you want an asquerosito? And I'm like, but Mom always told me not to eat those. But I haven't eaten in fucking 12 hours. So he says, why don't we go next to the guy and see how he makes it? So I swear to fucking God, we go next to this guy, right? This guy, he doesn't look very clean. Typical street vendor. It's fine, right?
Yeah.
But you see him like,
stress.
My dad goes and buys one for himself because he says, look, if you're hungry and you don't want to eat this, I'll get something for you later. But my dad said he was fucking hungry. He wanted one of those. So we see the guy, make the purchase. He gets the hot dog bun. So first thing he does, he has like a mosquito, like kind of bugging him around him, and he fucking slaps it onto his shoulder and kills it. And with that same exact hand, he grabs the hot dog bun. We're off to an incredible start.
No tongs, no cookware, nothing.
Do you think he uses gloves for this shit? No. This is pure Venezuela.
Yeah.
Pure mana in this shit. So he grabs the bun, and then I see him like scoop up the hot dog, like actual like the glizzy. At least he has like a fork for that. Like, okay, fine. He doesn't want to put his hand in the hot water. Okay, cool. And then you see him like kind of like, you know, sneeze into his arm. Yeah. But he doesn't really make it, so he only goes like around his hand, and with that same exact hand, he goes and grabs the patty.
Oh my!
And you see him like do this whole process, like get the meat, and like every single time. I swear, every ingredient he grabs, he does it in the grossest way possible. I swear, I saw him like scratch his ass, like he did like every single step.
He seasons it every single time he gets a new ingredient. It's like, wow. It's just like, he's going in as like a little sprinkle of staph here, a little sprinkle of botulism here, you know, a healthy serving of, you know, mold spores from my cheeks, you know.
And like, gotta understand, like, I'm watching
bread needs some extra yeast.
I'm watching this in real time, and I see my dad receive his dog, and I see him take a big old bite out of it, and my dad's the kind of person that when he eats, he makes fucking sound effects. So he's like, so he's like having the time of his life. So I'm seeing this, and I haven't eaten like 12 hours. So I cave. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Give me one of those.
Give me one.
I swear to fucking God, that nasty dog, that ass dog, has been the best hot dog I've ever eaten in my fucking life.
Damn. So they're doing something right. Right.
Something's going on with the seasoning. Let me tell you, like, dude, best hot dog I've ever eaten, and I'm sure. If I make you eat one of those, you will just immediately pass away. I get it. It's like, it's easy to laugh at some dude who just like sunning his balls. It's easy to see someone, you know, trying to make a breast milk muffin for. That's a good idea. So it sounds funny, but deep down, I like to think that it has to do with control. It has to do with a lot, not just control, but I guess a lack of faith in institutions. Because look, we're to add some nuance here, like to the guys that like stare at the sun and sun their balls and all that stuff, and you know, UV rays be damned. But there is a lack of faith in a lot of like these more traditional institutions. Like for example, there are. I can actually put like something up on screen about this. I was reading about this since a grant. But there are a lot of class action lawsuits going on right now in sunscreen companies specifically, because some of the ingredients they use can be potentially cancer-inducing. Potentially,
and that's kind of like going against the purpose of sunscreen.
I mean, yeah, but you also got to remember one thing, which is that technically, from a excuse me, I got to do the remarks. From a chemical perspective, everything is fucking toxic.
Right.
Okay? Right. Everything we could ever fucking eat is toxic. Yeah. Everything can give you cancer. Okay. Maybe not that much.
I've seen
everything is fucking toxic.
That one guy made about like all the shit that's in like common foods and like everything. He's like, yeah, everything gives you cancer. So water gives you cancer.
Everything can give you cancer. Like your water is good for you.
Yeah.
But if you watched, you know, that really good show, like 1,000 Ways to Die, you will know that you can die if you drink way too much water. It becomes toxic for you because, you know,
it dilutes your blood.
It dilutes your blood, and basically it's like an imbalance thing where all the minerals in your bloodstream will go to the water. Right. Fuck, whatever. But the point is, everything can potentially be toxic. And as an example, I'm going to do the direct translation so I make sure I don't say the wrong word. I live close to the desert, right? And here there is arsenic is what I was looking for. Arsenic is a chemical element which is incredibly fucking toxic for people. It's been linked to all kinds of cancer, skin cancer, etc.
Yeah.
And which is why places that have a high concentration of arsenic tend to have higher cancer, I guess, probabilities, okay?
Yeah.
But did you know that arsenic can also be used for cancer treatment?
Interesting.
in some doses, it can have a healing effect and can be damaging to specifically cancer cells. So what I'm trying to get at here is that you can make the argument that certain ingredients could potentially be cancerous or cancer-inducing.
Right.
But a lot of times, the dose you have to take for that to happen is astronomical. Right. It's like the same thing as like, the old idea that like apple seeds have cyanide. Cyanide will fucking kill you, but try to kill yourself. Yeah, but try to kill yourself eating apple seeds. See how long that'll take.
You're going to die of your belly exploding from eating too many apples than before the cyanide gets to your system, really, right? It's like you eat yourself to death before you poison yourself.
Yeah, so let me see if I can look this up right now. So, class action lawsuit sunscreen.
Oh, Neutrogena is in some deep shit then, huh? Copper tone, all them motherfuckers. Yellow sunscreen.
Here's one interesting one. Miller and I don't know how to say her name. But anyways, attorney at law. Sunscreen recall lawsuit. There was a filing in 2021. Sunscreen recall class action lawsuit. This means all federal benzene cancer lawsuits against Johnson & Johnson sunscreen products filed in federal courts will be assigned to U.S. District Judge, blah, 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 blah. So we have actually class action lawsuits, and we actually have recalls of certain products. So right here is for benzene, is a known carcinogen, a chemical at issue at Camp Lejeune, other water contamination lawsuits. Oh, that's what it means. So this is one carcinogen that is also involved in other lawsuits. That's just all that means. But there are quite a few cancer lawsuits related to sunscreen. Now, you could say that it's because of the actual ingredients they use, or it has more to do with the how much they use as far as dose. Yet the whole idea with that is just that everything can be potentially cancerous and everything could be deadly, as water can be. So generally, I say that the idea that things can be cancer-inducing, the idea that institutions are lying to you, the idea that products that are from, proper brands that you trust can potentially, do you harm, has made people really lack a lot of confidence in sort of these institutions and companies. Right. And I think at least for that same exact reason, who would you trust? If you didn't know much about like the scientific part of it, who would you trust more? A no-face company that you really think doesn't really care about you and they just see you as a number, or some random influencer who tells you, bro, you don't gotta worry about that all that shit. You can fix your life if you just sum your balls. Like you
trust me, bro.
You can get back to your wife. You'll get your kids back. All you gotta do is fucking eat raw meat. That's all you gotta do, bro.
That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, and it's like packaging everything into a simple, like, easy to digest, like, ideology. Really, it's like it's not really like a it's not like a report, right? Like a scholarly report with, all right, here is like piecemeal every single piece of data that we have, and this is the reason why. It's just more like easy. It's easy to digest, it's easy to hold on to. And I think it's like that's where we kind of run into the issue with, even in the scientific community. I think it's become an issue with like reporting in good faith like data about these types of things, because have you heard about the replication crisis in research?
Replication. Tell me a little bit more about it. Maybe I've heard it with another name.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you probably had way more like dealings with this phenomenon, but the replication crisis is, at least in American academia, it is a trend that has been noticed that most like there is strikingly low replication, or like the repeating of experiments and the repeating of like trials by other third parties, or basically fact checking. There's like a like crisis in a lack of fact checking and experimentation when it comes to like new papers or new research. So especially like it's higher in like I guess less experimental fields like psychology or like sociology, if sociology is even considered a science. But it's like but even in the physical sciences and like the life sciences, it's like there is that trend is still there. So people are publishing more research more than ever, right? But nobody is actually going and like re-evaluating them or retesting them. So it's like we only really have like one instance of this, test. And if you take that into account and also take into the politics of academia, it's all like there's so much room for scholarly like dishonesty here, and the manipulation of data to
and like
acquire funding, like play the game.
Yeah, I think there are like two ways to look at this. Like one is like the more optimistic route, which is that fine, there are lots of issues in science, but I think the main issue for a lot of this is even when good science is done, it is communicated like dog shit. Like one big issue is that most people don't actually go and read papers. Like most people don't do that, and that's fine. I don't think people should be like your average Joe should not be expected to go and read a fucking research report on nature, right? But there is
nobody got time for that
issue there, right? Whereas like we do have science communicators, but this is not enough. So new studies get made all the time, and a lot of it is stuck in we noticed this like possible relationship between factor A and factor B, but for the average Joe that means nothing because you're like, okay, how is this actionable to my life? Because people want things they can do, which is like they want things. For example, drink 8 glasses of water. That is sound advice, even if that's not perfect. And so people could go with drinking less or some people should drink more. As a baseline, every person ever can remember, I should try and drink 8 glasses of water. That's actionable insight. But if I tell you the perfect concentration of like, I don't know, fucking water and liquid in bloodstream, you're going to say like, what the fuck does that mean?
Exactly. And it's like, it's something that is it's a double-edged sword for sure, because that kind of like, I call it like esoteric knowledge, right? It's esoteric, which means that it's knowledge and certain concepts that due to like, I guess, education, like depending on how you were educated, right? It's all like that's knowledge that is not really apparent to the general populace. It's kind of like, it's like the secrets, of like a wizard, right? Or a warlock. It's like, this is my esoteric knowledge. Only I have laid eyes on it in my grimoire, that type of shit. But it's that effect can be used to really obfuscate a lot of details, I think. And I think there's lots of times there's malicious intent behind that, right? Especially when industry is involved,
And see, and that's the thing. That's why I told you there are 2 ways to see it. That's the more like positive outlook. There's a more negative outlook, which is that there are 2 gigantic problems in academia right now. One big one is, as you said, fact checking. So whenever you go and you try to publish a paper in any reputable journal, you will have an evaluator. They will basically check your work, see how it's how it fares up against literature, and they're supposed to be experts in the field. Now, here's a question for you: what if the evaluator, who's supposed to evaluate your work before you publish it, and this is your first authored paper, you're excited, you're going to get that shit out. It's your fucking dad.
Right.
It's your it's a friend of yours. And that's something that happens a lot. Like in science, it's well-known fact. It's not I don't know if it's discussed outside of more like, the circles of people that are like doing the PhDs or whatever. But it's something that does happen, which is that there's a lot of cliques that form in academia where you get one professor who was, he was your guy when you did your PhD, and then you got a friend and he had the same guy and the same guy. So it's like this, it's almost like Herbalife. It's like this like pyramid scheme type shit, but a lot, but in theory the people are a bit smarter.
But they just know, I don't even know if it's smarter. It's just they just deal in different information, right? Whereas Herbalife deals in like faulty placebo vitamins. This is just different language that you guys are using and different stuff that you're dealing in. And it's like, I think that's the interesting thing, because this is an effect that I see like in a lot of people, and me included. I think if you're like any kind of like thinking person who like has opinions about the world, it's very easy to have an opinion, but I think lots of people allow their opinion to have them, which is like
true.
That's where it kind of, where this issue comes into play, because it's like certain people, no matter how educated they are, they can't really they still haven't dealt with like their base human tendencies, you know, and towards tribalism, towards confirmation bias, you know, towards all these other things that you are taught, you know, technically are wrong, but it's all like knowing it's wrong and then actually practicing that in your real life are two very different things, you know. And it's all like, I don't know. The big question that I kind of think about is like, has it always been this prevalent? Or do we just have better metrics to realize it now? At the end of the day, I think if we were to find a workable solution, right? Because you said a lot of this can be kind of remedied, right, with the right way to communicate scientific information, right? So to have good scientific communicators, right, we need like the Bill Nyes or like the what's the astrophysics black guy? Neil deGrasse Tyson, yeah. Or any of those kinds of dudes to kind of like communicate this stuff, and like we don't really have those types of people anymore. I would say that are
like we
as
we
active
have
as
them.
they used to be.
Yeah, but we have them, but on a smaller scale, like on YouTube and stuff. But
But Nile
need more of that. Need more of
yes. But here's my solution. We get one of those depressed Indian or Chinese dudes. We pull them from the depths of of PhD candidate Reddit, and we tell them, "Do you want to change your fate?" You know, and then what we have to start is we got to start Indian Chinese like a think tank, you know, like a scientific communication think tank, and get the next Indian Bill Nye, or we got to get like Chinese Neil deGrasse Tyson, and start a new generation of communicators, bro. Right? We're trying to tell you today on the episode of Bill Nye, the Science Guy, Jaipur edition, and today we're going to talk about gravity, how it affects your daily life. And then on the other hand, we got the Chinese guy popping in. It's like, so today we're going to start talking about the FDA, how they start fucking you over with the shitty food, and later today in the broadcast we're gonna talk about the ball sunning. Does it give you the vitamin D, or does it give you the vitamin D, or some shit like that, man? I think like
really good at those.
Thank you. It's I had to for survival back in the day. Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's interesting. It'd be very interesting if we had like more of a cross-cultural type of thing with like the scientific communication aspect, because it's like I want to see what fucking scientists around the world are thinking, because I think we have a very like America-centric like discourse like here in at least in the States. We have a very like America-centered, US-centered discourse when it comes to science, and it's not really where it is. Yeah.
Like, look, listen. All I gotta say is all I'm hearing is based Webble Science Channel win.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. No, I will take the listener's point of view as like a layman, of all this stuff. You can guide me through, the wonderful world of science, and I wish to learn. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm completely ignorant of the scientific process. I took a lot of like science classes, like growing up, and I did very well in science, and I understand, like the basic principles behind each of the major scientific branches. But when it comes to like the details or the certain mechanisms, I think that's where like I would want to learn more, right? It's like, how specifically do these things work together in order to, make the effect that we see in our life?
Hearing that word, like this whole time, I wasn't sure how to bring it up. Like, what do you think is like the mechanism by which sunburning your taint gives you energy?
Now, are we going to talk about the scientific answer or the right answer?
I mean, look, look, scientifically, if you want to go that route, I think like probably sunburning your taint is really fucking uncomfortable, right?
All right.
So what happens is every time you want to like sit down or like rest or like just to do nothing, your ass is gonna hurt. So you are automatic person.
The goal is always
You're always in hustle mode. You can't sit down. You gotta be in hustle mode the whole time.
Interesting. It's like self-imposed hemorrhoids almost. Yeah. Damn. Oh, if that's the scientific answer, I would say the right answer, the correct answer of how this works. All right. So there's this thing called chi, right? And it flows through every living being in the universe. And as you said, the prime meridian for this energy to enter the body is the sphincter, the point of no return, right? The nether region. So what happens is that you have to channel the spirit of Kirby, and you have to do the fusion dance with the tapeworm that lives inside you. And when that fusion process is complete, this you start creating chloroplasts in your body, right? Like a leaf. So you start turning green, right? So you end up looking like Piccolo from Dragon Ball, right? So I think these guys are trying to become Piccolo. Long story short, they want to become Piccolo. They want his physique, you know.
And honestly, you could be right, because I literally just Googled ass chakra, and it is the root chakra. So I think we have real evidence for the plant-based ass photosynthesis.
Yes. And whatever form of yoga or whatever, the Kundalini or whatever, they're like, hey, take your pick. It's like what they want to do is they want it to enter through their butt, and they want to go through all the chakras, right? They want to go through all 7 of them, or all around. They want to get at the crown chakra. So that's where we see. I think it's like human photosynthesis. I think that's the correct answer, right? That's what they're trying to channel. That's what's going up in their mind, you know. And I don't know. Would you, I guess to close it off, would you be a proponent of the holy practice of taint sunning? Is that something that you will pursue in the future for your own benefit?
Short answer, no. Long answer is, if I find a circumstance where that is funny enough for me to do, it's only based on the humor aspect of it. If it becomes funny for me to sunburn my asshole, I would maybe consider it.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, so it's not something that you would, you would do for, it's party trick material, really. You know, it's not something that you would, it's not something that you would do on a job interview, but it's a party trick, you know.
It's like the fucking like, hey mom, look, no hands.
Yeah. It's like my Indian accent, dude. Would I do a full job interview with it? Probably not. But if I'm hanging with the boys, you know, I'm gonna have to pop out the accent. I'm gonna have to pop out my ass, you know, like and then praise the sun real quick.
Listen. I'm gonna end it off with this. Sometimes you just gotta look at the sun, bro.
You praise the sun.
Do it. Just
it's like
praise
dark,
the sun, bro.
Knight Solaire from Dark Souls, praising the sun.
Like, look at this dude. Tell me he does not look like he's having the time of his life.
As a very strategically placed leg right there to yeah. And it's so funny. He looks like that's the exact position like babies, you know, like newborn babies are in when they're like just on their back.
Why do you think they do that, bro? Like when we come out the womb, the first instinct is to ball sun, bro.
Ball sun.
I think that's enough. Anyway, bye.
So yeah, go and do it.
Go and do it. Bye. Stop recording.